It's Gnome of the Month, Gnome of the Month,
Gnome of the Month!
Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back to my channel. This is Gnome Creations and I'm Nova and I'm so happy to see you today. Today is our Gnome of the Month video, so I hope that you are doing well and that you are excited for some gnomey goodness. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. I hope that you enjoy your stay in our cozy little corner of YouTube, and if it's not your first time here, welcome back my gnomey. I'm so glad that you decided to join us today. I hope that you are doing well, everyone watching, and I hope that your family and your friends and your loved ones and your fur babies included, I hope that you are all taking care of the best that you can and that you are doing well. So today is Gnome of the Month, and if you have never been here before and you don't know what Gnome of the Month is, you are in for a treat. So what Gnome of the Month is every last Saturday of the month, I come on here and I show you guys a gnome I've been working on. I have come on the first Saturday of the month to give you guys an idea of what I'm going to work on. Maybe we vote on a pattern idea. Maybe I tell you I'm going to do a crochet-along. Maybe I have something figured out, like a sketch, and I show you guys what I'm thinking. It just really depends on the month. It's totally like free, like reigns. It just changes every month. And then you guys are also included in working on gnomes. So it doesn't have to be the gnome that I'm making. Even if I do a crochet along, you are never required to like do that gnome to be a Gnome of the Month. You just do whatever gnomes you want to work on, and it doesn't even have to be crochet. It could be whatever medium you want to use. As long as you make it, you can send it in for Gnome of the Month. So all you have to do in the future, if you would like to participate, is send me an email, which my email is always in the description box below my videos. It is novagnomecreations@gmail.com, and you just send me an email with Gnome of the Month as the subject line, and you include any pictures of any things that you wanted to include, and let me know what name you would like me to credit you with, because when I put together my video on that last Saturday of the month, I go through, I search out all the Gnome of the Month emails, and I get all the pictures and I put together everything and I make a compilation video of everybody's gnomes. So if you are watching this video, you are welcome to participate. It's for any gnomies, and if you are new here and you don't know who the gnomies are, that is you guys. It is our little community here on Gnome Creations, lovingly, affectionately called the gnomies. And it is open to everyone. And there is no limit on how many you can send. If you make 5 gnomes, send me 5 gnomes. If you make 1 gnome, send me 1 gnome, whatever. You can send me pictures. You are allowed to send anything that you want in that email. If you want to include pattern info and stuff like that. I can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to squish it all into the video, all the info you send, but you are welcome to say whatever you want. I just need to know what name you want credited with. So yeah, you can do anything you want for that. It can be knit, crochet, diamond painted, drawn, digital art, clay. It could be literally anything that you make with your 2 hands. And if you're worried about your work not being good enough to send in, please don't worry about that. I want you to send it in. I promise you that if you made it, it's good enough, okay? Like seriously. And it'll be such a confidence boost for you to send it in and hear everybody's thoughts, everybody saying like, I love that gnome was so good. And guys, if you're watching this video and you didn't send in a gnome, make sure that you guys say stuff in the comments for the people who did. Some of them are going really outside their comfort zone, but they really want to share, and it's just so positive and so like comforting to them to see your comments saying that they did a good job, or like they did something unique that you've never seen before, that you gave them inspiration, like whatever, just whatever your like thoughts are. Make sure you drop a comment, and if you sent in something, make sure you check out the comments, and you can pick up your confidence booster. So this month I did a little poll, and the poll was to help me pick what gnome I was gonna do. And the idea was I was thinking of an April showers bring May flowers kind of theme, or inspiration. And so I put up mostly flower themed or like ladybugs, bees, things like that kind of themed gnome patterns. I have a small stash of gnome patterns, which are the ones that I put up. I basically put up my stash of gnome patterns, and that was what you guys voted from, that I have gotten off of Etsy. Well, I've actually only done, I believe, one gnome off of my Etsy gnome patterns. For the most part, I've been actually making them up and either doing a crochet along with you guys or just freehanding them. And so I was like, yeah, I'm going to use a pattern this month and make it like simple. And so as per usual, I will go ahead and say, oops, I did it again, because this is probably like the third time for Gnome of the Month that I've said I was doing one thing and then I got into the thick of it and I did something else. So I had the intention of doing the spring deer gnome, which I will pop up on the screen so that you guys can see in case you didn't know. This was the one that won the voting. So it is the one that I started off making, but as I got into it, I kind of went a different direction with it. And I'll tell you kind of where. I'll tell you like the two places I started to kind of skew off in my own direction. I made the body of the gnome, or no. Did I make the body first? I think I made the body first, which I did follow the recipe, the instructions, the pattern, whatever you want to call it, from the pattern for that. And then I skipped down and found the arms, because the arms weren't the next part, but I wanted to make the arms next. And I found the arms, and I made those according to the pattern, except for that they were supposed to be a certain amount of rows long, rounds long, and I didn't feel like counting them as I went. So I just crocheted a length, and then when I crocheted the second one, I just held them together and made sure they were the same length. That's where things started to go a little bit different. I was like, I want to do something interesting with the hat. I'd been thinking about it the whole time. I was like, what color do I want to do the hat? At first I was thinking about doing it the same color as the body. And then I was like, no, I should do it white, but do like cool detailing on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull it forward and kind of and show you guys where I started to deviate a little bit. Here is my Gnome of the Month. Bum-ba-da-ba. It's so tall I have to like move it back here to fit it in frame. So like I said, I did the body according to the pattern, and I did the arms. I think mine are a little bit longer than theirs, because I did not measure them and I just made sure they were the same length. But then I got to the hat and I was like, I want to do something like cool and different with the hat. So I ended up doing white, and then every other row I did back loop onlys so that I could go through and do some slip stitching in this other yarn. So this yarn looks like it matches this really, really perfectly, but it's actually Pretty's Please from Yarn V Yarns. It is a sparkly cotton yarn. It's a sugar wheel cotton spun yarn. Is the like type. They're the little cakes that Hobby Lobby has. Well, I used the green and I used some yellow. I have like where I've color controlled, I have like little balls of different colors, and so that's what I did. I slip stitched, and let me tell you guys, this looks like it would be much quicker than it is. This took me like 7,000 years to go slip stitching through all of these stitches, like I don't even know how many, picking up the front loops that I left behind. And I thought that that looked really cool. So that is where I first deviated from the pattern. But I'm really, really happy with that. I love it. Okay, and then the second place that I deviated from the pattern is I started to make the antlers, which this is what the antlers would have looked like. And I'll just be quite honest with you guys, I was not feeling it. I spent like 3 days of trying to make myself make these antlers. I didn't feel like making them. I don't know if you guys have ever crocheted like small cylindrical things. It's a pain in the butt. And then the way that you do these antlers, you work them in little pieces. So like you make this piece and then you like invisible end, weave in your ends. Then you make this piece, invisible end, weave in your ends. Or you connect this one on, do a little bit invisible end, weave in your ends, make this piece, connect it on. So it's like you work in little segments and then work them together, which makes sense, but it's a lot. It's a lot, and I really didn't feel like it. I was not feeling doing it. It just was boring and tedious and not what I wanted to do. So I was like, okay. I tried to stick with it because I did have you guys vote on the pattern, and then I was like, you know what? You guys, I know you're going to say, if you weren't feeling it, just do something different. It's the same thing I would say to you guys. Crochet is about enjoying yourself, and, you know, like, you shouldn't be enjoying what you're doing. If you're not enjoying it, do something different. So I changed what I was doing, and I ended up, these leaves are not part of this pattern, by the way. These two leaves right here, I will link in the description box below, but they are from that Cheerio, I think it's like Once Upon a Cheerio. They're from that Cheerio, website when I was making those leaf sprouts. I went ahead and made some of those to go on the top of here. And then I put this antler on here. I made some of the tiny leaves that are for one of the spring deer gnomes, because there's two different spring deer gnomes. One of them has tiny leaves and one of them has bigger leaves. And I attached those on here, and then I put a tiny, let me focus you guys, tiny crochet flower on here. This is done with a 1/weight yarn and like a 2mm crochet hook. I thought that that would be really cute on the branch. And then I came down here and I did a sunflower. I did a sunflower, if I can get this to focus, if I can get it to not try to wash it out really badly. Why it doing that all of a sudden? Okay. So I did a sunflower and I did some leaves. The pattern for this hat, what you're supposed to do, you do make two, I believe you make both of these size leaves. Actually, I think for the one gnome you make these bigger leaves, and I think for the one you make the tiny leaves, you make these medium leaves. So I made a medium leaf and a big leaf and some tiny leaves. Put some of them under the sunflower. So that's where I like really started to go off the rails. And then I did not follow the pattern for the nose, because gnome noses are just like a basic shape. So you don't have to follow the pattern for them if you know how to make them already. Mine's probably bigger than theirs, but I don't know. But I wanted it to be big. And I made a little pineapple for it to hold. And then I actually was talking to hubby, and I was like looking at it without any hair on it yet. Originally I was going to do a beard, and I was like, actually looking at this gnome, I'm like, maybe I should do pigtail braids, because that's what I usually have done for my girl gnomes. And I was like, because I'm not feeling a beard, it's going to cover up all of this like fun color, and just like, I don't know, it just didn't feel like it should have a beard. And he looked at it for a minute, and he was sitting there and he's like, you know, I think this one maybe doesn't need hair, because it actually looked really good without hair. He's like, I think like this might be the first gnome that you just shouldn't put hair on. And then he was thinking about it another second, and he's like, actually, do you still have that faux fur? I have this faux fur, and you guys have seen me use it a couple of times. I got it on Amazon. It comes in like a little roll. Well, when I use it, because I use it for such small areas, I actually still have quite a bit of it left. Like, it's just lasting me forever. I was like, yes, I actually do. It's like a pastel rainbowy color. I'll show you guys here in a second. He's like, what if you did hair? Like, not a beard, not like pigtails or anything, but just like some hair, kind of going with like, you know, a kind of a hippie vibe. And I was like, oh my gosh, I literally love that. So I tried to pick out like the sections that would give a cool color effect, and figured out how long I wanted it and everything, and I attached that up under here before I put the hat on. And I even put some in the back. However, I went down with the hat so low that you barely see it in the back, but it's there, you know, it's the thought that counts, being extra. So this is how our Gnome of the Month came out. My creation for this month is kind of a collaboration between me and the Spring Deer Gnome pattern that I did not really follow at all. Whoops. But I'm really, really happy with how it came out. I really love it. I think it's so fun and so cute and so cool. And I just, like, I feel it more than what I was working on. Like I said, I was really not feeling making these, and they were like an integral part of the spring deer design because they were the antlers of the deer. So if I wasn't doing the antlers of the deer, I had to kind of do my own thing a lot, and I had a lot of fun with it. So I hope that you guys still like it. I hope that you're not disappointed that I changed it up. Here is what it looks like. I love it so much. And I'm thinking I'll enter this into the state fair is what I'm thinking. So you guys will have to let me know what you think. All right, and then I wanted to show you real quick, in case you were like wanting to know what this looks like. I bought this on Amazon. It's just called faux fur. It's really like messy at this part of the roll for some reason, but it looks like this. You can just brush this down and it'll be fine. It doesn't all look like that. That particular section of the roll looks like that. The rest of it doesn't. I bought this quite a while ago, I would say over a year ago, with the intention of making gnomes. My idea at that time was that I was going to use, I bought like these like little wooden half spheres, which I've used before, and I was going to use those as noses, and I was going to use this as beards, but then I got into crocheting my gnomes and didn't really use this. But I do occasionally pop it out and use it on a gnome, because it is really fun and really pretty, and this is really like pastel rainbowy goodness. I think it was like $9.99 on Amazon, and like I said, using it for like the purposes that I use it for, which is like hair or beards or whatever on gnomes, it'll last me forever because the roll is deceivingly large and you don't use very much when you make these things. So I hope that you guys love my gnome. I think it came out so fun and so cute. I am going to go get into my email and get out all of your guys' creations. So I'm excited to see what our Gnome parade is going to look like this month. If you forgot to send in your gnome, that is totally fine. You can go ahead and send them in right now while you're thinking about it. There's no time of the month that's too early or too late. You can send them in anytime you think about it. If you're a little too late the day of I'm posting my video, and I already got it edited and uploading and whatever, I will just include it in next month's video. So it's no big deal. Like I said, there's no too early either, so you can send it in now. I just go through and I see which ones have not been opened yet, which emails have not been opened yet, and I know that those ones all need to go into a video still. So I will go and start to work on the video for Gnome of the Month, and I hope that you guys have a great Gnome day. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. If you're up to anything fun, let me know down in the comments what you are going to be doing. And I will see you guys later. Love you guys so much. And let's begin the montage.